So San Antonio Fox?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I'll grab your number after this so I can send you a link to the website because it'll be on our website, and then I can send it to you as well. I can clip it later. I brought my laptop so we can grab it. Look at these bugs.
It's not that bad. I slept out in a truck bed just because it's like perfect camping weather.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we should be eaten up by mosquitoes right now, and probably because the flood, it destroyed all the eggs and all that stuff. I'm so blessed that there's like no bugs really last night at all.
Yeah. It's not as muggy as I was expecting. It's like a little, but it's not horrible.
Yeah.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
How long until the next one?
I'm not sure. They haven't talked to me yet. It should just be a couple minutes.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just never saw one that can go back and forth like that.
Oh, yeah. So the way that it works, we usually the shows are at different times, but because they're on simultaneously right now, we just call into different numbers, which is our like producers in the booth. And it's different sets of anchors. It gets really confusing, especially when they're on at the same time, because you kind of never know who you're talking to. So you just have to be real careful not to say any names, because you could be wrong. What is the most difficult is especially like when you're tired. Usually when we like sign off, I'll say Jordan Elder, News 4 San Antonio, or like mic check 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and you don't want to say the wrong station name.
Okay, gotcha. Are you guys independent or subcontracted for all of them, or how does that work?
So there is a company that owns both of the stations.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell if they're in break right now. But there's a company that owns both of the stations, and then we are under the same roof. So we all work in the same, it's like the same people.
You said Fox and NBC?
Yep. Hey, if you guys can hear me, how long do we have?
Yeah, yesterday when we pulled in, right when we pulled in, they found someone right here.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
a turned over car.
Oh.
Yeah. And we're mind blown that it was just right here. That means like this whole entire area wasn't even searched yet.
Yeah.
So.
We had some pretty bad flooding in San Antonio about 3 weeks ago. There was a creek channel that it was 10 cars got swept in, wrapped around bridges. It was just terrifying. Well, Marisa, we tried to get to Hunt. We were trying to get to Camp Mystic, but because it was so dark, a lot of the roads are closed. A lot of those roads are still in pretty bad shape. So we are now in Ingram. We are at the Blue Oak RV Park, and there are search and rescue teams waiting here, ready to leave for the day. This is Dennis Price with me right now from Heroes for Humanity. They respond to natural disasters all over the country. And Dennis, you were telling me this is one of the worst floods you've ever seen.
Yeah. I always have to constantly remind myself it's not a hurricane, it's just a flood, because normally it's just disaster for miles. And this amount of devastation for just a flood without the terrain channelizing it like it did in the hurricanes in North Carolina, it's mind-blowing for like the damage that's exactly on this RV site.
Well, and we were nervous even driving with how dark it was just about 15 minutes ago. What is that like for search crews to have to work in that darkness?
Yeah, so our team, we decided to stop searching late last night because it's so difficult to search in the day. Like if you see, we searched for about a mile from ground zero at this campsite, and there's like over 40 plus. I can't remember what the number was of campers here, cabins, everything. And one of the worst parts, it was an influx of from 4th of July. There's a lot of influx of people who were just here, came out the night, but all this destruction, it's piled on top of each other, and then there's still 5 feet of muck. So you're searching through everything by hand, trying to move things around, and it's that difficult in the daytime. So at nighttime, we were like, hey, we don't want to go over something and breeze over it with a headlamp or a flashlight and say, hey, it's been searched and this part is good, and then give a false report. Like, no, let's wait till the daytime. Let's give it an appropriate one, so it gives this family that closure and saying, hey, is my family, my son, my daughter, whatever, are they found? Are they not? And it's like, if they're not, then it's not at least from here to this one. Tomorrow we'll search from here to there, and we can accurately say, hey, this whole entire area, there's not anyone here.
In your experience doing these searches, seeing the damage that you've seen here, how long do you think it's going to take for the search to be considered fully complete?
Oh man, that's going to be difficult. So we went to the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, and there's a lot of awesome federal help here, state help here. I think one of the guys said there's over 700 like federal and state officers here. There's a lot of assets, so it's a lot different from like North Carolina and how Texas is handling this, and a lot of support from the people. So till it's going to take a few weeks. And I'm hoping that everyone is, and praying that everyone is found within that time. Otherwise, we at Heroes for Humanity, we're going to do a 2-week reassessment and then see if it's worth doing a 30-day obligation here. And we're going to keep rotating teams and volunteers all from out the country. We had guys flying from North Carolina last night to come out here to help volunteer and just help the people. So I think it's going to be hopefully 2 weeks, not more than 30 days.
Well, and one of the challenges that officials have told us about from the beginning is they were unsure exactly how many people were even out here to begin with, which makes it difficult to determine how many people are missing. How does that impact operations when you don't have a set number of people, like a nice, even checklist to be looking for?
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of like social media and everything. In North Carolina, how it worked and how it's working here is, my wife and some of our family, they're supporting by constantly going on websites and finding relatives who are saying, hey, my son, my daughter, my sister, brother were out here camping. Here's a picture of them. Here's their last known location. And having that constant feedback, it gives us like a checklist, kind of like what you're saying, is, hey, who's been found, who's been missing, where's their last location, and then we'll go and do search and rescue with investigative mindset and use your skills. A lot of us are veterans or like snipers and special operations guys, so we use the same skills to like find disturbances in the using fieldcraft and try to feel anything out from there using investigative mindset, like I said.
And it's a difficult task for you guys. We've got this big pile of debris behind us, and Dennis was telling me this is the kind of thing that they're having to search through. Things like that aren't easy because you look at that and you can't easily identify what a lot of this stuff is.
No, and that's why you have to go out there and get dirty. You have to be hands and knees. You have to have work gloves, and you got to pick things up. You got to get inside there to accurately say, hey, is there anyone here? Is this area searched? What I constantly remind my teams, and I tell them that you have to fight the urge to go on autopilot. You have to constantly fight that, because if that was your child there, I said I would turn over every rock, every nook and cranny, and say, has this area been searched properly? So you're going to have to get up in there. You're going to have to lift a lot of stuff. And, having chainsaws definitely helps. Having a few tools and having a lot more guys, that all helps.
What is one thing that you would want the general public to know about the work that searchers are doing?
That everyone's coming together. That a lot of people are coming from the state to help with this. A lot of state assets, federal assets, search and rescue things. So that that everyone's coming together, uniting, and focusing on helping the families, helping those who are missed, and then ultimately, once that the search and rescue part goes, then how does the humanitarian side go? Let's now look for food, shelter, and helping these people restore their lives.
Absolutely. Well, Dennis, thank you for chatting with us. His team is going to meet here in just a little bit. They're going to regroup, say a prayer, you said, and then head out and continue the search today. Again, we are in Ingram. We are at the Blue Oak RV Park that was completely swept away by the flooding a few days ago. We're going to send it back to you guys in studio. We got a little bit of rain on our drive over here, and I would say we left the station probably at about 4:15 this morning, and it's very, very dark out here. The highways, a lot of the roads in these areas don't have the big lights like we're used to in San Antonio, so it was difficult. We had to take it pretty slow, and then again, a lot of the roads are closed. We are here in Ingram. There was a cutoff where the main highway that you would use to get to Hunt is closed. First responders are the only ones that are using that highway right now. We're going to check it out again in a little bit when it's light outside and potentially a little bit safer. But the devastation is clear in all of these areas. It's still very muddy over here. And with the light coming up, you can still see there's some standing water over in this area. We're pretty close to the Guadalupe River. Colton's going to zoom in so y'all can see, but it's the same situation that we have been seeing. You can see the bark pulled off the trees completely tipped to the side. There's debris everywhere. It's devastating to see and to know that there were 30 to 40 RVs and campers parked out here where people were staying and sleeping. It's heartbreaking to see. Right. So our anchors are asking what the most challenging part has been for you guys and your crews as you're out there. What kind of equipment are you having to use to search through all of this?
Yeah, so chainsaws, and one of the biggest ones that we need and that help so much is cadaver dogs. Having search and rescue dogs and cadaver dogs, one of our partners, Joint Task Force K9, they come out and they do search and rescue with this, and they'll be coming out soon too. But having that, it's just like you see the debris, you see that's a piece of an RV and everything, combing through all that stuff. It makes it almost impossible because that mixed with 5 feet of muck that someone could be under. So dogs are an invaluable tool. Outside of that, just more manpower to lift things up, get in there, and then chainsaws.
I would imagine that it takes a lot of physical strength and also mental strength to be going through situations like this, and you all do it repeatedly in natural disasters, helping people get closure, but at the same time that's got to be difficult for you guys.
Yeah, it is. It's actually one thing that most people don't even take into consideration is that emotional and spiritual, like the heaviness. In North Carolina is really, really bad. So seeing all that death and destruction, and then digging for people, and then when you find them, sometimes you find families. So it's a good win to give those families closure, and but. That's why we do it, and that's why I hear from many that we use our veterans and all that stuff, so people that we bear the brunt of that, so that other people and the younger guys don't have to see that. So it gives families closure. It gives other people not having to be on site like that, especially there's, I don't even know, dozens and dozens still missing. So yeah, it's something you take account, but that's why we lean heavy into God and in our spiritual strength.
Absolutely. Thank you again for chatting with us today. We're going to send it back to you guys in studio. We'll check back in here throughout the morning. Absolutely. They said to thank you for all the work that you're doing. rescue. They hadn't shifted it over yet to search and recovery.
No, not yet. Yeah.
Just between you and me, how much hope is there if they're to find people alive?
Okay. Yesterday we started, and towards the end of the day, it was hour 36. Last night, because I saw them still searching in the river, not like really in here, but in the river spot with flashlights, I would say easily probably 2 dozen people doing it. They're still in the hopes of that. Basically, get 3 to 4 days because people are resilient. They'll be barely hanging on. I would say probably tomorrow, probably be around the same. Maybe even the following day. Talk about the BAC, I think they said feds and all that stuff. The word on the street is like 2 more days of this, and then they'll go away, and then they're going to go mass call off the volunteers. So we all signed up for everything, and that's when we will stop having we have our hands bound right now because of the state and federal owning this whole land. You know, we're able to like work side by side with them. You know, but right now, especially with feds, they take
They want to.
yeah.
They want to own it.
And I hear that, but either way, in like one more day or so, whenever they release that out, that's when a massive influx of people should come in, and then that's when they'll provide more closure. And it'll be easier. We were just talking about it because someone still might be alive, or so you have to be very careful when you look things up. Where like in 5 days, they're going to come in with like bulldozer. Now you have to worry about it, and you'll have to worry about sure is there someone at the level to tear them apart, but at least you're not living, and then they'll cope with that. If you walk like just one day, there's little art.
Whatever you were able to do. Obviously, you guys have more important things.
Yeah, I'll give you one of our guys.
Okay.
And they can't just only leave in like 20 minutes. Well, when do you think they'll hold me in? Is that for live or?
Yeah, it would be for more live. It just depends on what they need.
Okay.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'll give you one of my guys so that we can be there.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, I would say that vehicle right at the street, that's the one that we came up yesterday, right when we pulled up. There's a couple right there. So, right by saying that, that was yesterday, right here at the entrance. Just underneath the most football, and it makes me feel like okay, it still has a little bit of on. We go back to the
All right. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you.
That was super good. See what else they want to I want to look at some of this. Get some video. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Right. Yeah. That would be awful.
gonna take a lap. I'm thinking potentially for our next hit.
I could just follow you. I can put everything, if I could put my stuff in a wagon and just set up wherever, if we find something, I guess. I don't know.
I worry about your wagon wheels. Some of these spots are gross. We might be able to cut through right here and maybe get to this little path that cuts off. Yeah, I'm gonna take a lap if you wanna come. You don't have to, but
Yeah, I'll,
It's hard to imagine that like literally all of this was underwater.
I have a video that I took from that deck. The raging waters right before it was about 2 or 3 feet before it got up, before I had to leave, and you can see massive amount of oh.
All right, they're gonna come to us right now. We are at the Blue Oak RV Park right now with the owner, Lorena Guillen. As the sun has come up, the devastation here has become so clear. Can you walk us through the night that the flood happened? When did you realize that it was going to be this devastating?
Nobody could have predicted this much devastation. I started seeing the heavy rain around 1 o'clock. By 2:30, I checked the water levels. I went all the way to the edge of the river, and it was fine. It was perfectly fine. And called the sheriff's department. I asked them. They had no information, and I went to bed. And at 3:30, the lights of the rescue team awoke me. And my husband and I ran over here, and the bottom part of my RV, which is the second level, was completely all the way to the waist. I mean, people were trying to get out of their RVs in their underwear with no shoes, nothing besides their pets, and some of them lost their pets too. And by that point, the rescuers were trying to get a family of 5 that were stuck all the way where those trees are.
Colton, can I have you show? They were on kind of an island over here. Is that kind of where the electric poles are now?
Yes, and over there is still the bathrooms. The family of 5 was right there within 10 feet of the water, having a beautiful time the day before. I mean, it was just perfect weather, perfect everything for on the 3rd, and then it just turned. So at 3:30, when we saw the rescue team trying to get them, they had 2 fast boats. They were the right team to get to them, and they couldn't. The waters were rising so much, it was insane. We had about another 20 minutes to get everybody out of here, and they barely were able to grab their belongings, jump into their cars on the upper level, and take off. But 20 minutes later, the water was up a good 40 feet in this area, and it was just, everything was gone. Every single RV and vehicle, it was gone. Got washed away.
Do you have an estimate of how many RVs were in this area?
Yes, I had 28 up here, and I had 5 on the island, and everything is lost. Everything's gone.
Have they started to find where those RVs were ending up?
Yes, there is about half a mile now down the river. There is a wall of about 30 to 40 vehicles all smashed together, and nobody's been able to get to that, but there's a lot in there, and it was just very horrific night. At one point, you can see lights, because it was pitch black. At that time of the night, it was just so black, and you could see the lights of vehicles getting washed off from upriver, and you can hear honking. You couldn't see anything, but you can hear honking, and you can hear the screaming. The cabins next door keep smashing against our trees. You can see the scarring of the trees, and that's where they were hitting. That's how high they were getting flushed.
These were the cars hitting the trees that was pulling the bark off?
Yeah, and the cabins from the RV park next door keep hitting, keep getting smashed against the trees, and there was screaming. I mean, and you couldn't see much, but the screaming was unbearable. And so, I mean, we are one of the luckiest one because we only have 5 people missing, unfortunately. But I was able to get everybody. I mean, my husband and I were banging on doors, getting everybody out. We had the rescue team here because one of my residents heard them screaming at that, in the middle of the night around 3:30 or something like that, and he called 911. And that's the only reason why they were here so soon, so fast. And at one point, the manager next door, she came on running here, said, "We need help too," because they didn't know, and they lost a lot of people. I mean, they had so many missing people at that point, like close to 40 people missing just there, and us 5. That's 45 people in a matter of 1 hour. So it's just incredible. I mean, the force of that water was so insane. Nobody could get into it. That my resident, that was the one that called 911. He was trying to get to the family and all the way to his waist, and debris hitting him, and he was yelling, "Please throw me your baby," and they couldn't, and they got swept away, and we all saw it, and we all heard them.
And the person that was trying to rescue them, what ended up happening to them?
He got out just with his clothes on. He lost his pets as well, and he had just moved in to enjoy the beautiful summer that we were having. The temperature was right. I mean, you have to understand, Kerrville is an amazing community, small town, but on 4th of July, we go all out. And we hadn't been able to because of the drought, so everybody was mindful of the fireworks and things like that. But this 4th of July, it was the perfect weather. I mean, it was gonna be in the 80s, 90s, and it had been raining, so everything was kind of wet already. So, and it was perfect because we could go crazy with fireworks. So everybody was so happy, and everybody was we're gonna have the best 4th of July ever. Every restaurant had bands playing, everybody, and we were all full. I mean, there were tents camping along the river all the way to New Braunfels. And what happened with them? I mean, there is no way to account for those people. I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen now. I mean, I don't know how, we're going to get past all this. And when everybody asks me, what are you feeling? I'm like, I just want to know what now. Like, I have bills to pay today, not in 3 months. I have a restaurant with employees that they need to work to make a living. You think, 2-3 days off. A lot of my employees live day by day, and so do I. My husband and I bought this property 4 years ago as our retirement plan, as our little piece of paradise, and that's what it was.
Has anyone from the city, the county, the state, have they come to visit you?
No, not at all. Not one single one. And that's why, I'm talking to you guys to bring awareness of the area. We need so much help. I mean, I'm just don't understand why we have so many military bases in Texas with people there right now. Why couldn't they be here now? I mean, San Antonio alone is just an hour away. We have Lackland, we have Fort Sam Houston, Del Rio has a military base, El Paso. Everybody could have been here that day to help, because yes, I understand the National Guard is rescuing and recovery, which is obviously essential, but that wall of cars half a mile down here with 30-40 vehicles, they have to look. That is part of the recovery, because I know there's bodies buried in there. We know that. I mean, every time we tried to get some of the debris against the tree, we were afraid that we're going to find somebody in the middle of it. So the clean up is part of looking to see what they can find. Maybe I don't know. I just think we should have gotten help a lot more, because all the cleanup that has happened here, and believe me, it's very clean up. They already dug up a car from my parking lot, and that was completely buried. It was done by volunteers. I had probably about 60 or 80 people in here volunteering, helping, and that's how we were able to clean this much up and be able to drive over. But that's it. I mean, we need the military. We need our military here to help us with this incredible disaster. I mean, I have some of my customers are in their 90s, and no one has ever seen a flood with this magnitude. No one, not even the 87, the 98, the 2000 and whatever. No, this is a 500-year flood.
So you mentioned that you were out knocking on doors telling people to evacuate. We were hearing that morning that down in Comfort there were flood sirens and alarms sounding to alert people. Is there anything like that in this area?
No, there is nothing here like that, because I don't know how long. I think Comfort was, I'm going to say, lucky enough because we were already alerting the authorities at 3:30, so they knew there was water going that way. They knew it, so they had a little bit of warning, more than we did, because we had no warning.
And then I just want to show people there's still water over here, but
Yes.
you say this is not actually where the river is supposed to be. This is still technically drainage.
Yes, that is correct. The river is, if you see that electrical on that tree, the river should be about 3 or 4 feet below that.
Wow. So this is all still draining. Again, we are at the Blue Oaks RV Park. There's restaurants here. There were cabins here. We've been speaking with Lorena Guillen, who is the owner. It's a very troubling scene out here. We're going to continue capturing this video for you. For now, we're going to send it back to you guys in studio. Was the park full for 4th of July weekend with people that were here?
Yes, absolutely. I had, thankfully, the other half of my guests that were coming on the 4th.
So there weren't as many people as there could have been.
Yes, that is correct. But I know everybody else was full. I was probably at 80% capacity at that point, with the other 20% coming on the 4th in the morning.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. This is absolutely devastating, and thank you for your kindness and for speaking to us.
Thank you very much. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Hey guys. No, you can't come in here, please.
Thank you guys for all that time. Thank you.
Want to turn that mic off, please?
Yep.
Hey, it's Colton. Can you roll on Lucky 7? Gonna be back to the PO against this Blue Oak RV park. Courtney said to feed it back for the show. Rolling? Alright, thank you very much.
If they're to find people or what.
Okay. Yesterday we started, and towards the end of the day, I think it was hour 36. Last night, because I saw them still searching on the river, not like really in here, but in the river spot with flashlights, I would say easily like probably 2 dozen people doing it. They're still not. People are saying they'll be barely hanging on. I would say probably what you'll see, I think, is feds and all that stuff. The word on the street is that we have 2 more days of this, and then they'll go away, and then we're going to state and federal owning this whole land. You know, we're able to like work side by side with them. You know, but right now, especially with feds, they take over.
They want to.
Yeah.
They want to own it.
1 more day or so, whenever they release that out, and that's when a massive influx of people should come in, and then that's when they'll provide more closure. And it'll be easier. We were just talking about now you have to worry about it, and you don't have to worry about sure, there's so much trouble, so it'll tear them apart, but at least you're not living, and then they'll come from that.
and 30 by
we're hearing reports that the number of fatalities has gone up.
Oh yeah, I saw that like early this morning. Yeah, it's 51.
Okay.
Okay, so do they know that we're going, that we're going to hit?
Yeah, we're in break right now.
Right, on the Fox side.
Yep.
So as soon as we finish that, we break down. We can try to go to the church, the Notre Dame church, see what they tell you, see if we can find someone. And then we can do a live shot at the center for News 4. Because it sounds like Fox is going to be off the air.
From 9 to
9,
10.
yeah. So we can get there. We can get there a little before 9, and we can set up outside for the live view. The signal will be better.
Yeah.
And then we move inside and.
I'm gonna try and call Kerr County real quick and see if I can get anybody before Hi Lisa, my name is Destiny Fuller and I'm a reporter with News 4 and Fox San Antonio. I understand that there's supposed to be a press conference happening at 10 a.m. this morning, but we are at the Trinity Baptist Church and we were looking to get some confirmed details on what's happening here. We've heard that it's a reunification center. We've also heard that it's not a reunification center. If you're able to provide a little bit of insight as to what's going on and what we're allowed to tell our viewers to give them the best information possible, that would be great. You can reach me at this number, which is 210-383-1561. Again, this is Destiny Fuller with News 4 and Fox San Antonio. Thank you. Well, somebody's there because I got sent directly to voicemail. Like, it rang twice and then I got sent to voicemail.
Okay, good. They're coming to you next.
Okay. Yeah, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6. Hello.
Tell them we're moving after this.
Okay. And also, we're going to be moving after this. Do we have any video I can talk over? Hey guys, we are still at the Trinity Baptist Church, and while we're gathering answers about what exactly is happening here, because we've been told that it's not exactly a reunification center, we do know that there's a lot of law enforcement, and we have seen people from the community come here. But talking about reunification centers, I've talked a little bit about how we've seen one at the Calvary Temple Church, and those are typically for people who are looking for someone, need a moment of rest. The first reunification center I saw when all of this happened on Friday, there was water, there was blankets, there were warm meals for people, because there's a lot of people who have been impacted by this, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you that, but just in the time that we were talking to people on Friday, there were families, for people who need a little bit of perspective, who have lost everything that they own, some people having to watch all of their possessions float down that river without anything that they can do about it. So if you're in need of a warm meal, there are churches, there are places who are opening their doors for you to be able to go have something to eat and just take a minute to relax if you can and not have to think about what's happening next. There are blankets, there are bottles of water, and there's warm meals for a lot of those people. Now we're waiting on details from officials with Kerr County to see just what we're looking at. We've seen numbers continue to rise over the days, and we know that efforts are not going to stop until every person is accounted for. At 10 a.m. this morning, we're going to hear from those Kerr County officials, and we're going to live stream what they have to say so that you can hear it directly from them, exactly what this is looking like at this time.
Okay.
I'll give this back to you one more time to turn.